Welcome to this episode of Jing TV, where our own Nina Frizoni is going to interview me about niche markets, particularly circus performers and massage. Hi, and welcome back to this episode of Jing.
Hi.
Nina, and we're going to have a little chat around niche markets, which can be really interesting for you as a massage therapist, becoming an expert in a particular area or with a particular clientele. And Nina had a question from a friend about a particular one, circus performers, and so we're just going to have a little chat about it. Nina's going to ask me some questions.
Yeah.
All right, so what happened, Nina?
So my friend works for a company called Fire Toys, and they make aerial circus equipment.
Okay.
So they make things like trapeze and silks and ropes, and what they're wanting to do is to start a blog that is going to be helpful for circus performers.
Okay.
So, Meghan Mari.
What would I... Oh, no, you're
Yeah, so Meghan Mari. So circus performers are generally very strong people.
Yeah.
They're very, very fit.
Yeah.
And they spend a lot of time contorting themselves, putting themselves upside down.
Yeah.
So what sort of injuries are they going to be likely to be looking at?
So there's a lot in that I want to say about. So from a massage therapist point of view, we talk about actually it's really good to know go and see the performers, okay, and so to see how they use their bodies, get to know them. From the circus performers' point of view, I mean, the types of injuries can be anything, right? So you can have the overworking of muscles, strains and sprains. You can also have pretty severe injuries. What massage therapy can, something like a dislocation could occur.
Yeah.
But mostly what you're dealing with are incredibly toned bodies that are being overworked in this incredibly intense way for short periods of time. And so what massage therapists that can do can prevent injury, right? So if circus performers or dancers, which often happens, or even like musicians, get regular massage, you can prevent injury. You can also strengthen tissue. So for instance, one of the techniques that we often use, like PNF stretching.
Okay, and what's PNF stretching, Meg?
Well, PNF stretching, one of my favorite techniques, is when there's a bit of resistance before stretching. So the muscle is both strengthened and stretched, although our next episode is going to be about stretching, so we can talk about that. But it's a really great thing for the performers to experience.
Okay, and so that stretching they should be doing before, like in a warm-up.
Well, it's something that a therapist can do for them. So it's something which is a very different thing from self-stretching. And one of the reasons massage is really good for athletes of any kind is that therapists can take the body into stretching and into positions passively more than somebody can do actively. Okay. So for instance, like if the performer was working on a particular, like if they were working on the silks or something and they really wanted to get a full turn, so their range of motion wasn't quite what they wanted. If they saw a massage therapist, the massage therapist could help them get to that position passively so the muscles themselves aren't engaged and they can get themselves a little further, which is an education of the body. So it's not only luxury is what I'm trying to say, really.
So really increasing flexibility by going to see a therapist.
Excellent
awesome
deduction there, Nina, about what I'm saying.
Absolutely wonderful. And what can therapists do to help strengthening exercises for?
I mean, you can use something like the PNF. You can also do something like active isolated stretching, which also is something that they can train the performers or dancers to use.
And what is active isolated stretching?
Well, it's a combination of cardio as well as stretching, so you kind of get a workout also. I think there's another element that we're not really touching on, which is the education of massage of the body. And I think when somebody's a performer like that and they're going through so much intensity, sometimes if they are doing one type of workout all the time, they kind of don't use the other muscles. And so what massage can do is educate the body around what muscles are involved in different movements, and so it kind of, the compensation element can be decreased.
So making sure they're not going to be lopsided.
Something like that. Yeah. Not to mention a bit of luxury, which is always really different than like a physio or a rehab element.
Yeah, which is great. So there's quite a lot of travelling sort of circus shows that go on. So how would you advise that maybe therapists get involved with travelling circus shows, performances, dance shows?
Well, both ways. I can go both ways. So a massage therapist could find a show, right, that came to town and knock on the door, kind of say, I'm here. And anybody who wants a treatment, I'm really happy to see them. And that can be really great. Once you work with one performer or dancer, usually the word spreads and it can be great. Also, I started out my practice working with capoeiristas, you know, Brazilian martial artists, and they taught me an amazing amount of what the body can do. So that is a great educational aspect. But if people are traveling around, I mean, certainly if you're traveling around the UK, you can always call Jing and find out where there's a Jing trained therapist. Or you just need to find somebody that's had a good treatment and really talk about one in clinical massage rather than kind of sort of a relaxation massage. That might be helpful for people out there traveling, trying to find somebody.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Meghan Mari.
Great. I hope there's lots, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of questions out there, so you can put them up on Twitter or on Facebook. Get involved in the conversation. Maybe you're a performer yourself, maybe you have a particular kind of injury like plantar fasciitis or carpal tunnel or wrist strain or sprain you want some help with. We're happy to get involved with that. And if you're a therapist and you want to find out about how to work with a niche market, ask us some questions or come to the Jing Institute in Brighton or subscribe to Jing TV on iTunes. All right, see you next time.
See you next week.